Well, there's some things we go through when we either have a tumor or cancer. Mine happened to be a brain tumor. What spooked me about it was that my grandfather, from my mom's side, had passed away from several brain tumors. Mine hasn't come back, but I had to go through some radiation. I know people have it a lot worse, but there was some good news from my dentist today, although this is a side I had it taken out of, and part of my jaw was taken. Now, they did have to remove a tooth, and of course, they got me on antibiotics and painkiller. Good news is they get to save the rest of my teeth. I had to have two taken here and one here because when you get radiation, it stays in your bones and it gets into your teeth. But my dentist um, had some good news for me. Hopefully, I'm still bleeding. But they really had to tug on my jaw and stuff like that. But I thought that was good news. And when they gave me the price of the work that they had to do, I was just like, oh. The dental assistant goes, I know it's that much. And I thought, no, I thought it was going to be the price of a house. But anyway, I mean, some of the stuff that I went through, I'm lucky, you know. Um, but when they gave me injections and I had to pull down on my mandible a little bit, it tugged on part of where the brain tumor was because it was located up here. Which here's a footnote as well about Hillary Clinton, where she had her stroke. It was the same where I had my tumor. It was called a vestibular schwannoma, skull-based tumor. And I don't know if you'll be able to see the scars of it, but I mean, I used to have really thick wavy hair, but I'll try and pin it up as much as I can to anybody that's a naysayer. But hopefully there's enough light. But put it like this. But when I found out all they have to do now that things have slowed down with the radiation, that with my bones, that these teeth are still in solid. And they took this one out because it was starting to turn horizontally instead, you know, not vertically, but horizontally to where the roots started popping out of the side. But let's see if I can try and, oh no, this is weird. It's just one of these little vlog things I'm doing. But it's, hopefully you can see some of the scarring. There's a little bit of a hole right here, right behind the ear. But they cut through this bone and they did a non-invasive, oh, hopefully you can see it. I don't know if it's getting on the camera. But kind of down my neck through here where they cut through the bone. Hopefully you can see it. But my dentist was worried that they got it radiation in my thyroid as well, but I said no, it was mostly here. It's not as much radiation as you know, shooting right here. They mostly put it through my veins, but they shrunk it. But sorry if I'm talking slow. Like I said, they gave me some antibiotics. which sounds weird for a tooth extraction if it's not infected. But he was afraid it would, since he had to pull down the jaw, it might get into the ear and infect it. But I'm just kind of sharing some good news, you know. Even though my hair's not thick and everything else like it used to be, you know, there's some changes in my bones. It hurts every day. I try to work through it. It's good work. But, yeah, when they said they could save the rest of my teeth, yeah. A lot of them, my ex-husband, his best friend got cancer, and the chemotherapy can be really, really bad, you know, and he had to get dentures. And his hair grew back, and the bits and pieces of hair that are growing back on my hair, of course, are turning gray, which is expected because I'm old. But his hair came back, this nice, luxurious, I mean, this gorgeous red hair. I have nothing against people that, they call them gingers. Men with red hair can be just as good looking as any other guy. But he's a survivor. But they still find seizure activity, and where Hillary Clinton had her blood clot was the same place I had my brain tumor taken out. And when I see her freeze up, you know, especially when they said, you know, hey, keep talking, keep talking. Every once in a while, my daughter and my grandchildren will come over and visit, and every once in a while we'll have a petit mal seizure. Some call them pseudo-seizures. And you just kind of, I'll be in the middle of talking, and I'll just like, you know, space off. And my daughter will sometimes go, she's so used to it. She's going to be 25 next month. And she's seen it happen. Well, she's also seen the major seizures since she was 14. So she's used to it. And she's like, Ma. Spacing out again, Ma. But that's just a side note. When I see Hillary freeze up, it just reminds me of myself. Just, you know, having my petit mal seizures and stuff. Which is now mostly under control now. But I know there's other people that have cancer out there that is going through a lot much more worse than I am. I've seen my aunt go through inflammatory breast cancer. That was rough. My mom had kidneys. She passed away last year. I guess cancer just runs in my mom's side of the family, you know. Just when I first heard that I had the brain tumor, and I did have it removed, and it was benign. But that's how my biological grandfather from my mom's side of the family died. Was one kept coming up after another, and sometimes I'm just tired of going to see my neurologist and the neurosurgeon that took out the first one, and constantly. It just seems, sometimes it almost never ends, but the people that have the really severe cases of cancer, you know I'm kind of going on a rant, not a rant, but kind of rambling. I've seen my family members go, and you know, started out I was talking about good news about myself, and then my other family members. But please pray for those that are really sick with it, and that they recover. I've seen people, you know, with success stories and stuff like that. Sometimes we get into a group and talk, whether they were cancerous tumors or benign tumors. And because sometimes those benign tumors do come back, and sometimes they're vicious, sometimes they're not. They shrunk mine enough. But the scary thing was is that with the way it grew, it ended up breaking a piece of bone on the inner part of my mastoid bone, and they thought it was cerebral spinal fluid in my ear. Thank God it wasn't. But for those that have detrimental cancer, they have to go through all these hoops and these things and insurance. Even with something, I almost want to say simple, because mine isn't severe as others, I guess, because they caught it in time. Some of my hospital bills are paid and some through insurance, but it's a lot. But I digress. This is part of my life I'm sharing. But I just got that good news, and save the rest of my teeth, and how this side was just kind of ravaged a little bit, torn a little bit, you know, and how my gums were receding, and I thought, okay, at my age maybe I will have to get dentures. But I don't. So I just got that good news today. It's gonna be expensive, but I'll pay it off. You know, they have plans and stuff, and my insurance will take care of some of it. But anybody you know, or anybody you don't even know, anybody on this world, they got any kind of cancer, it's painful. Especially with severe cases. I've seen people in so much pain. Just pray for them, please. Just please pray for them. I guess that's it for my vlog. It's kind of a good news, and then kind of what I've witnessed and experienced with myself and my family. But yeah, that's the good news I got today. And sorry if I seem sluggish. I've been given antibiotics, and they gave me Vicodin. So I might be going to sleep pretty early tonight. But there's two good things in news. My tumor hasn't returned, and then I get to keep my teeth. Well, except for the one they just yanked out today. But anyway, it's just like I said, piece of my life I'm just kind of sharing. But you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, or a good night whenever you see this. And leave comments below, maybe experiences that maybe you've personally had with their tumors or cancers and stuff. And pray for one another. Pray for one another. Because having that brain tumor scared me, because that's how my grandfather died. But I got that good news about my brain tumor not coming back last week, and then of course today with the dang dentist. He was like pulling up and pulling down, and I could actually feel it in my ear, and almost feel like it was tugging on my own brain. It was gross. But anyway, yeah, just leave your opinions, and comments and experiences. It's kind of a hard thing to talk about, but anyway, I guess that's it for right now. I should probably put on some pajamas since I'm back from my dentist and they gave me the antibiotics and, you know, pain pills. Probably be good. After I'm done with this, I'm just gonna be just zonked. But anyway, I better get going.